This is Teachable Moments with April podcast. I am your host, April. If you're a returning listener, I appreciate you and welcome back. If you're a new listener, welcome and thank you. To everyone listening, remember, teachable moments are all around us. Enjoy. Good evening, Miss Mary.
Good evening, April. How are you?
I'm good. Happy Mother's Day.
Thank you. It's been wonderful.
Okay, so guys, this is the second attempt. I'm going to be honest with you guys. The second attempt to get this review out of the Amazon Prime series, Season 1, Outer Range, with Josh Brolin, and I don't know. I don't know what happened. We recorded it on Friday, and when I went to plan it and post it for Tuesday, is when I wanted to schedule it for 5 p.m. and to schedule it in the app, it wasn't there, and I've never done that. That has never happened in the time I've been doing episodes for this podcast. It's very strange. So hopefully the second time is a charm, and I was able to get Miss Mary back and tell her what happened. At first I was like, that couldn't have happened, and I kept looking for it and I just couldn't find it. But I don't know, when I was scheduling other episodes, some real weird stuff happening with, I don't know, with the app itself. So it was just, some days I guess you just have off days or whatever. So maybe that's what that was. All right, so me and Miss Mary started to watch this particular show, and I'm just going to give a little backstory of how I found out. I never heard of it, actually, but I was watching a YouTuber who is a real life rancher, and he was talking about a lot of the disappearances of cattle and livestock. This was from last year, probably the end of last year, November or December of last year. And he was talking about some of the shows that he'd been watching that kind of addressed possibilities of what it may be to the real life disappearance and mutilation of cattle. And he mentioned Yellowstone, okay, with Kevin Costner, I believe it is one of the stars that's in it. And he talked about another show, which is Outer Range, with Josh Brolin, when he said that it had to do with ranching and whatnot. But he also mentioned something about a black hole. So that, if you guys know me, you know that kind of caught my attention. Ranching and a mysterious black hole. He said it was too sci-fi for him. So I told Miss Mary, and I looked it up. He didn't say it was on Amazon Prime. He just said Outer Range. And when I looked it up, it told me it was Amazon Prime, and it was included in their, in their free, underneath the Prime. So, Miss Mary and me watched the entire season. It's made of 8 episodes. I'm hoping that they will soon have season 2, because there are a lot of questions that we both have. There's a lot of symbolism in it. Everything seems to have deep meaning, from colors, the color yellow, to the black hole itself, the names of the families, Abbotts and Tillersons. So Miss Mary is going to tell us what she thought of the show. And how did you like the series, Season 1 of Outer Range?
Well, to tell the truth, I haven't seen them. I've seen one movie, Cocaine Bear, that I thought was fantastic. And Outer Range came out, and it is phenomenal, because what I usually watch and kind of critique is movies that I watch, and I get into them, and they are just seem like they're taken from bits and pieces of other movies and put together. But with Outer Range, I didn't get that idea. It kept me on my toes the whole time. I have never, well, I won't say never, haven't seen a movie like that, a series like that in a long time. Josh Brolin, his character, which he's one of my favorite actors.
Me too.
He was fantastic in this movie. I just can't wait for season 2 to come out and give me a little bit more insight into what's going on the Outer Range. I cannot fathom, which might be much. I can't fathom how a child of 8 or 9 years old tried to disappear and goes into a big hole,
right,
and stay there from 1886 to 1968 and come out the same age.
Right.
What connection do Royal have with the black hole? Is it a part of his imagination? Is it reality? But as you watch the movie on, I kind of got away from that because he had 2 cows that disappeared.
Right.
And I never heard any more about did he ever find the 2 cows or not.
Right.
The mountain disappeared when he decided to shake hands with Autumn.
Right.
And I guess called a truth, which wasn't actually a truth because she went back on everything she said. And as soon as he shook her hand, the whole mountain and everybody that was out seen it. What is these connections here?
Right.
He throws Trevor's belt buckle into the hole.
Right.
And then the hole releases
Trevor, but not the belt buckle.
Not the belt buckle. The only person, only one person I know for sure that came out of the black hole after being pushed in was Royal. Royal came out after Autumn decided that she was going to be such a nice person and throw him in. And he came back, scratched all on the back, and had gotten cut on the fence and so forth. But he still was alive. Once then when his little granddaughter's father, his son Perry, decided he was going to jump in, and then they went to the rodeo, and his daughter-in-law showed up. That's all this about the whole. But there was so many things that I cannot put together on it, but it keeps you thinking, like the return of all of these buffaloes.
Right.
This guy, Luke digging the hole, and all the bisons came out and trampled him. I'm thinking he got trampled to death. It's amazing. There's so many things in there.
You really have to pay attention. The series opens up with Royal at getting up. You know, you live on a farm or a ranch, and there are things to do pretty early on. And he's getting ready, and his wife, Cece Abbott, is telling him about a dream about Rebecca, which is that their daughter-in-law?
Yeah, that's Perry's wife.
She's been missing. Okay. She's been missing, and at some point pretty early on after that, the authorities let the family know that they're going to close the investigation. They've never found her. Or whatever, but she's also Amy slash, I guess, mother, Rebecca. But Amy, we find out toward the end of this season that possibly Amy and Autumn Rivers are the same person. Now, Autumn Rivers is a young adult, but she bears a scar that we see. Also, Amy ends up getting from a fight. She's in the kitchen with the rest of the family fighting. over, I guess, what happened with Trevor, and just other tensions that are under the surface of the family that have never been really dealt with. And it just boils over, kind of like the slow cooker that I took that to be symbolic. It just like everything under the surface that they don't talk about. They have this slow cooker. You never see what's in the slow cooker, but towards the end of the season, episode 7 and 8, you see Cecilia sitting in the kitchen. She's already set the table with Amy earlier, and this slow cooker is like ready to explode. We don't know what's really in the slow cooker, and then you see Cecilia kick the table over. But she pushes it over. So it's a lot of things that seem like very mundane or whatever, like a slow cooker, but they have symbolic, heavy meanings in it. So anyway, Amy ends up with the scar on her forehead, or more along her hairline, and only when something happens to Autumn Rivers that he sees at the last minute that she bears the same scar. And I think in that moment when you see the camera on his face, Royal's face, he finally puts it all together. Now, Miss Mary's right. It's a deep connection with that land, the black hole, and with Royal, because he went through it, like she said, when he was 8 or 9 years old, and he came back out in 1968. And there was another boy that was there, which turns out to be what it seems like his nemesis, Wayne, who seems pretty well-to-do. And he's always remembered what happened. I don't think people took what he said seriously. When the black hole, I think they open. It has something to do with time travel. That's my theory, man, Miss. Teleportation of some sort. They open and they close. Now we can't make out what laws justify in opening and reopening. Miss Mary did a little bit more research than I did, and she saw from someone else or from her research that it depends on who goes into it and who comes out of it. That's what she touched on in regards to Autumn either being pushed in there, and she also, the name Autumn means fall, of course, just like in the seasons. So it depends on if someone pushes her or she jumps of her own free will, which that's not going to do anything. She's going to need someone to push her in, preferably Abbott. I don't know.
Royal.
Royal. I'm sorry.
Royal Abbott to push her in, because it seems that she keeps antagonizing him.
I don't get that.
To make him angry enough to throw her in, because she observed him traveling in.
Right.
But he was trying to protect his sons.
Right.
When he did that, he's not just a vicious person. Mm-mm. He does things that need to be done.
Right.
So she needs to be pushed in by him. So what power does he have that would
that he can
push a person in or throw a person in and they'll come out? She wants to travel back or either forward. I'm not sure which one it is. And she wants him. He's the catalyst that can do this here for her. So once I did some research, and they were saying that the hole will keep taking people until they get the right person.
Right.
So once Perry, which is Royal's oldest son, went into the hole, the hole closed up.
Okay.
And when they was at the rodeo, his wife, Rebecca, showed up and collected Amy.
Right.
And left. But Luke decided that he went over there and he was going to dig the hole.
He did, and he really dug. I don't know how many holes, though. I'm like...
But I don't think he really thought about how the heck was he gonna get out of the hole.
The one that he dug, the last one was super deep. I'm like, how are you supposed to get out of that? I was asking Miss Mary, and then he hit it looked like black liquid, almost like crude oil. And he got excited. He touched it, and it looks like some of it absorbed into his skin. What you see throughout the season is people touching it, whether it be from the actual black hole or the void. That's the first episode. Its name is The Void. But it also must be made of black soil too, and that's another episode. Is called The Soil. That people, including Autumn as well as Wayne Tillerson, have like stones, some kind of amber, and they encase this soil in it. It absorbs in, and I thought, oh, okay, well, it absorbed, it's gonna be, but it kept bubbling up. I said, I hope he doesn't drown in this liquid, this black liquid. But it really didn't matter, because all of a sudden, like Miss Mary said, this bison come out of the hole where it was and just trampled, stampeded him like a waterfall almost. So that shows that, and you're going to see this bison,
the Pacific bison,
just moving through the land like that. It's connected
and shows up at a specific time. It had also 2 arrows.
One particular one,
yeah, and this particular one, and it allowed Autumn to take one out, and at the end, it allowed Royal to take the last one
too.
And it just seemed to turn up at the very end of the team, like when Billy and Autumn was trying to kill Royal at the end.
Right.
Out of nowhere, what I seen, it was just a humongous amount of bisons came running to make sure, to me, this is my opinion, that they didn't kill him. And he was able to hide under the truck.
Right.
But Autumn was not. And they ran over her after he had already.
They had some kind of accident, right? A car accident, and it flipped over, and then Billy looked pretty dead, but...
Well, I think he was dead because I think Royal had shot him. I believe he shot him,
but I
can't be sure.
No, you're right. So he got shot. They were still in the truck,
right.
And then that's when
when he got
flipped
shot
over.
Because he was driving.
Yeah,
I think that's when the truck just turned over and over and over, and then threw Autumn out
of the and
out
she
of
was
the vehicle, and then out of the blue,
crawling,
looked like all these bison came, and Royal had to run and get up under the truck,
right,
to keep from being stomped, but she
wasn't so fortunate because she couldn't really move because she'd been thrown from the vehicle.
But he was such a loving person after he connected that she might have been Amy. But I don't think he still connect how this could happen. But it could be Amy. He picked her up and carried her and put her in her bed.
He did, and talked about Grace. It was kind of like something at the opener of the season. He talked about what the meaning of grace is and what he was told by his family, and how it began the series. It ended with more or less with him talking about grace and how to achieve grace in life. Yeah. So,
if you're not doing anything, please watch Outer Range. It's a series after one's own heart.
If you like to think, if you like if you like series or movies that get you to thinking, and it's I like stuff that's what they call cerebral or even mind bending, which a lot of people that know me don't tend to care for. Miss Mary's not one of those people, but a lot of people say, you just like so many weird things, April. That was a weird movie. And maybe it is. I'll embrace me being a big old a nerd and a weirdo, but I like things that are thought-provoking and answers that are not just handed to you. There's nothing wrong with that. It has its value, but I do like things that kind of challenge you and make you think. Now I'm looking over and I see Miss Mary is drawing. It's a symbol that you see throughout the series, and I don't know what you would call it when you first enter the ranch. I guess that's what it is. They have a symbol like a circle and an A in the middle, which I'm starting to think, well, the family's name is Abbott, so on at face value, I would assume that it would be an A for Abbott, and you're entering the ranch. But I'm starting to think that A means something else because it's on a rock formation, and it looks like it's painted or etched into stone, and you're going to see that a lot too, is symbols. Okay, so I see Miss Mary putting Autumn next to the A, as well as Amy, which is the granddaughter at different stages of her life. Now, when she draws it, the little girl, you see Amy as a little girl starting to draw that. And then the character Autumn saying that she has been drawing that ever since she can remember, and she's still drawing it. So that A symbol, that circle with the A, and it has, I just feel like it's more to it than meets the eye, like the majority of things that are in the series.
You know, like with Autumn, no matter how painful it was, but in some, I don't remember which episode, but she takes a knife.
Ooh.
And
that was too much.
The symbol.
That was
the
so
A
not
thing.
No, don't even do that.
But I was under, it seemed like she did it sideways.
That's how she draws it,
right.
Too.
She also, Billy was just totally taken away with her. He stood in the street and let her carve it in his chest.
I'm like,
as well.
What's going on?
And he said that he wanted to be the first member of her cult.
I want to be the first member of her cult. What
and
kind
he
of
would do anything
is
she wanted for him.
There's people that start cults.
I don't know. But it's so much information. For 8 episodes, I can't go through each and every one of them.
No.
But I'm just picking out some of the fine points that got my attention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you liked it?
Like ain't the word.
I liked it. So if you like that type of stuff that's going to thought-provoking, mind-bending, cerebral, if you haven't already seen it, that is, of course, check it out. Outer Range on Amazon Prime.
Well, you know, every person just about I talk to says April says she likes certain mind-boggling movie.
I do.
They call her the little genius, okay? Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Well, she's very modest. But if you're a genius or just a person like to movies and so forth, give it a look, see.
All right. Enjoy the rest of your day.
I will, and thank you for having me, April.
Okay, everybody have a happy Mother's Day. Although you'll be listening to this on Tuesday, but
it's ahead of time. I hope yours is as memorable as mine.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
TV technology is always changing it for the better. More must-see stories, more can't-miss moments, but all that choice makes it harder to stand out and easier to get lost. More of what you love across all of TV, so you're unmissable for the entire streamer's journey. From power on to purchase complete, can't miss moments where TV starts. Show-stopping control where TV happens. Breakthrough connections where TV engages. Welcome to Roku. Amazon Business presents a day in small business life. Okay, we need ribbon for the wedding bouquets, a few vases for the gala event, and a new foam blocks. Any questions? Yes, a lot. Delegating purchases is a tricky arrangement. Now, Finn's Flowers uses guided buying from Amazon Business Prime to turn procurement rules into clear visual signposts, giving Finn time to stop and smell the roses. Let's try again. Any questions? Nope. Guided buying that helps business bloom? That's smart business buying. Learn more at AmazonBusiness.com. You were just listening to Teachable Moments with April podcast. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I invite you to connect with us on our social media platforms, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and Pinterest. I also encourage you to become a paid subscriber in order to gain access to subscriber-only exclusive episodes and content. As always, be well and stay blessed. Until next time.